guys? How you guys doing? It is November 17th. Ace Fantasy Sports here. I hope you guys did well on y'all's lineups last night. I hit it big with the Anthony Davis on Poe stack I had going on, and a lot of my cheaper guys like Shelvin Mack, and I can't even remember who the other guys were. I've been driving for the last 10 hours. I drove from Texas to Florida last night, so I didn't get in until like 5 a.m. this morning. But as you can see behind me, I got the lovely beach, so I'll be relaxing here for the next week, watching some Thanksgiving football. It's going to be a good time, but I'll definitely still be posting my videos. Quick injury updates just to go ahead and jump into it. We got Terry and Prince out tonight. We got Russell Westbrook to be determined. I think he's going to end up sitting. Victor Oladipo questionable. Aaron Gordon questionable. Kawhi Leonard is out. Elfrid Payton out. You got, I already said Terry and Prince. John Collins is making his debut tonight. Draymond Green is out. And those are really just the big ones. You got and you got Aaron Gordon and Oladipo questionable. I can't remember if I just said that or not. And it does say Embiid's going to play tonight as well. So, having said that, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's lineup. The highest over and under tonight is the Denver-New Orleans game and the Lakers-Orlando and the Philly and Charlotte's, all at 223.5 and above. Denver-New Orleans is at the highest at 227. New Orleans is on a back-to-back. Another teams we got on back-to-back is Sacramento against Houston, and Indiana against Atlanta. Indiana is on a back-to-back as well. Toronto as well is on a back-to-back, and Boston and the Utah Jazz against each other are both on back-to-back, so that's a bit of a wash. So don't need to pay too close attention to that, except maybe, even though Gordon Hayward got his minutes restriction limit or taken off, still something just to double check just to make sure they don't rest him on a back-to-back, because he did play 30-plus minutes last night. So just jumping into this real quick, at point guard, I got Lonzo Ball in right now. With Rajon Rondo out, I really do just like his value. I do think, I'm sorry guys, the screen is going out on me. Let's go ahead and get this fixed. My apologies. Let's get that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so yeah, with Rajon Rondo out, I do not like Lonzo Ball. I do not. His shot form is atrocious, but you know what? He can fill the stat sheets up decently. In the last 10 games, he's averaging, a steal and a half, essentially no blocks, but 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 6.5 points. So he's not doing anything crazy, but he is filling up the stat sheet. And at 5'4", if you can get me that 30 mark, ideally a little bit more. He's in a good position to definitely do that against Orlando. Augustine's not going to be able to really shut him out, so definitely a good play as of right now. I got Danny Green at shooting guard with Kawhi Leonard being out, and Toronto playing on a back-to-back. I do like, and Chicago's on a back-to-back as well, but with Kawhi Leonard out, I do like kind of doing the Lowry, Danny Green stack. They're going to expect more from them offensively, so, and at 3.9, it's just kind of hard to pass on him as that value. He is going to be playing 30 minutes probably, and he's had a lot more consistency in Toronto than he did in San Antonio. I mean, obviously, when he was a little bit younger in San Antonio, he was a little bit more consistent, but he's kind of, I feel like, having a resurgence year this year with Toronto. Tyreek Evans I got right now with Oladipo being questionable. Me playing Evans is strictly dependent on Oladipo. He blew up last game with, I think he had like 44 points in 25 minutes. I really wish Indiana would just start him, or just have him be that sixth man off the bench and just give him that 30 minutes, because in Memphis last year when he was given that, he just feasted, and he's such an offensive threat, and I'm surprised they're not using him more, but hopefully this can be a turning point. But if Oladipo is out, even with Corey Joseph and Darren Collison against Atlanta, Atlanta's just a mess right now. And yeah, I don't even need to say anything more about that. 3,900, definitely a lock if Oladipo's out. I got KD right now, who has been an utter disappointment the last couple games I've started him. Really, since that Clippers game hitting that 71 points, he is farly undergone value. But Draymond Green is out tonight. Kevin Durant has a history of playing really well against Dallas. Again, I do expect the lineups to be smaller tonight with Draymond Green out and with Wesley Matthews out. So hopefully that'll push the tempo up a little bit and we can get some more points scored. And luckily KD's price went down a little bit, so 10-6, we're still looking at that 55, 60 point mark, to really satisfy us tonight. So I'm not sure if I'm going to lock him in as a guy I want to start for sure, but with a lot of this cheap value, it's definitely tempting to want to purchase up for him. At center, I got Miles Turner. He's been kind of a disappointment this year, but he's given the opportunity every night to go, hey, do you want to play 30 minutes and, ball out? And he chooses to get in foul trouble or just not be aggressive enough. And Sabonis one just coming off the bench and he brings that energy and then he ends up losing minutes. But he did have a good game last night and against Miami, put up 34 points, and he did play 28 minutes, which is a great sign. He's playing Atlanta. I just hope, and at home. And at 4-6, I only need 25 points just to get value. Give me 30, 40. Great tournament play. The matchup is there for him if he wants it, especially if Oladipo's out. They're going to need Miles Turner to be stepping it up offensively. So hopefully value-wise, it's definitely there if you don't want to pay up for, Anthony Davis or Jokic or any of those guys. So I definitely like this as a value play. I already kind of touched base on Lowry with the Kawhi Leonard thing. Gordon Hayward, again, something to monitor just to make sure he is going to play on a back-to-back since he played 39 minutes last night. But he did get 36 points, which is great because that's about a fantasy point a minute. Even if he just hits 30 minutes again, I think he's going to be in good shape. Especially last time he played Utah at Utah, he still played 26 minutes, got 26 points. It's a fantasy point a minute, especially with him playing at home in Boston against his old team. His price is still at 5.3. It's not going to stay that low for long. So if you want to take advantage of that, even though it's a back-to-back, Utah's got a better defense. I still think you just got to take it, And then Ben Simmons down here, not a big lock on him yet either. Against Charlotte, he's got a good matchup, especially with it being one of the top 3 or top 2 highest projected scoring games tonight. But since Jimmy Butler came into the picture, you can see a steep decline in his production. He did get 34 points last game, but, paying 8.2 for him, you need, 45 points out of him to hit value, and 34 and 23 is not going to cut it. So I don't know if he's just kind of struggling to kind of, find that chemistry amongst Embiid and Butler. Really what I'm hoping out of Simmons is just to fill up that stat sheet. I don't need him to score 20 points. Give me, 12 points, but get me those rebounds, give me those assists, give me those steals, give me those blocks. So Charlotte, it is a good game for him to get that because, Kemba at home, he's going to play well. They're going to put up points. They turn the ball over quite a bit, so it's a good night for him to bounce back. And at 8.5, it's a little bit scary, buying him, but he will be low owned tonight, so that is definitely into consideration. But out of these guys, it's kind of hard to even say which ones are locks, just because there's so much injury updates that we're waiting on still. But I'll definitely say Kyle Lowry is probably going to stay in my lineup. Gordon Hayward's going to stay in my lineup. And then I'll probably stick with Lonzo Ball as much as I hate that. So those 3, I like to usually give a core 4, but I'll say these 3 for now. Because, say if like Barea ends up starting, I may try to throw him in there and get some exposure to him. If Oladipo ends up playing, I'll probably pivot off Tyreek Evans. Even though I love the price point, that game will end up being a blowout, I think, and they're not going to play Tyreek unless they have to. If they're up by a lot, they're not going to risk him, getting injured if they're already up by 20 points. But if Oladipo's out, then that's definitely something to consider. And then KD, just because of his price point, the game isn't projected to be high scoring right now, but depending on the updates, if he ends up looking like pretty much the only guy in Gold State that's going to be putting up points tonight, and it is a low scoring game or a small lineups, I might lock him in there. But really, just right now, Kyle Lowry, Gordon Hayward, Lonzo Ball. Hopefully, I'd like to see Quinn Cook re-enter the starting lineup, so I can maybe take out Simmons, put in Cook down there, and then maybe even like update Durant to Anthony Davis or something like that. So we'll tinker with it, but good luck to you guys today. This is what I'm rolling with right now, but I'll continue to monitor the updates. Any questions or anything, just go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And again, on Twitter, Ace Fantasy Sports, I'll be retweeting and posting injury updates as they come out. So yeah, good luck to you guys today, and I'll be posting the video here shortly for my early slate for the NFL games. So that'll be the noon only. So yeah, y'all have a good weekend. Take care.